Greetings, my fellow gamers, it is I, Wraith King, and welcome back to Seven Nights! Today we will be taking a look at one of my personal favorites. I really like her character, but there are a few interesting things that have been changed with her that I think we need to talk about and figure out in the video as to why exactly they made these changes. But before I begin, I just wanted to say, remember to leave a like, comment, and please do subscribe! Absolutely! And if you were wondering why I haven't uploaded another Warframe video in a good while, I've been planning on uploading one once every week. Last time I said I was going to upload one the very next day, and I didn't have a chance to do it. Well, my controller's kind of busted for my PS4. I need to get a new charger. I'm thinking about getting one of those charging stations because it doesn't work with the Android cord anymore. Something's wrong with the port. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can't get that settled out today. Maybe I'll have another video up today because I have half a Warframe video. I have half of it done. I'm trying to record the rest, but I can't with a broken controller. So until I get that fixed, please do enjoy the video. Greetings, my fellow gamers, it is I, Wraith King, and welcome back to Seven Nights. Today we are taking a look at Clemyth. Few things have been greatly changed with her, but is it that bad of a change? Well, let's take a look. Almost immediately, you'll notice that Clemyth is now a mage for some odd reason. I don't think this is going to change much at all because she was kind of a mage anyway on the Korean version. I mean, really. She was kind of just used aggressively most of the time.
Even if my path goes against Providence.
Still as gorgeous as I remember. Now, does being a mage really change anything? Not really, because in the Korean version, if you remember, I know I don't, but I do remember how she was used. When she was used, she didn't really do much damage, and her ability, whenever it was used, it was kind of just a turn skip, to be honest with you. One of her abilities is a passive, that's the ability I'm talking about. It's an active, but it's a passive. I know that sounds weird, but that's what it was. When you activated it, it was a passive effect. It debuffed something, and then it buffed something. That's kind of what it did. And because of that skill, she didn't really see much play because it was kind of a turn skip. In the arena, you need to keep that damage flowing, you need to keep that crowd control flowing, or else you're just going to die. That's just how the Seven Nights arena works. And as her character was introduced, she didn't really give us much that would actually help us win other than her first active ability, which did some damage that was pretty okay. It was some solid damage. But after that, everything kind of just went downhill. Whenever she used one of these abilities that were more of a passive, you kind of just missed an opportunity to deal some real damage with other heroes. Maybe they changed that here. Let's take a look. What her passive ability does, she becomes immune to all damage 7 times. Increases debuff resist rate by 50%. All allies become immune to 5 target attacks. And she becomes agile. Agility, when attacked multiple times, she receives damage 1 time, and the rest will miss. We all know all about that effect. Now, is this an improvement? I can't really remember too much about her original form, her original character, so I can't really tell you much about this. Like, what's the difference now? All I really remember is that she didn't really do much that was really aggressive, and because of that, she didn't really enter the meta. She didn't do much healing either as a support, so just that in itself just meant you didn't really have a reason to put her on your team. But she's a mage now, she's a magic type, so she can synergize with other magic heroes. Be that as it may, we'll have to see what her other abilities really do before I make any final judgment, because as of right now, not too much is going on. But alright, here's the damaging ability I was telling you guys about earlier. What this ability does now is she inflicts 80% magic damage on 4 enemies 4 times. Exploit vulnerability will take effect. Priority effect will decrease the enemy's buffed rotation by 3 turns. What priority effect does is that happens first over anything else. Exploit vulnerability inflicts greater damage when activated. able to inflict damage to enemies who have a chance to miss. Now, first thing that's coming to my mind right now is this really worth it? There are some heroes that do have powerful effects applied to them that make, some hits miss. Unlike her passive ability, if you're thinking, oh, maybe this counters her, no, not really, because it's when an ability hits her, like say you hit her 3 times with a skill, like let's say you got a skill that deals 100% physical damage, and it does this 3 times. You'll hit her that 1 time, but every other time it will miss. It's not a chance to miss, it will miss. Now, let's take a look at her ability that's more of a passive ability. What this does, she decreases hit-based shield buffs of all enemies by 3 hits, decreases the target's charged awakening gauge by a fixed amount, puts the target to sleep for 2 turns at a certain rate, decreases the enemy's defense by 70% for 2 turns. That is a mouthful. Even though it does all these things, it still doesn't do any damage. And you might be thinking, oh, sleep is a crowd control effect. Well, yeah, it is, but if someone is touched while they're asleep, even a little bit, by an AoE attack, whatever, they're just going to wake up and do more damage. So, when you have an effect that pretty much does nothing, and by the way, that sleep has a chance of happening, it might not happen, especially if they have debuff immunity, which everyone will have. Everybody has debuff immunity in the arena, but let's say someone's stupid enough to not have it again. Let's say that again. It's still not really likely to happen. Even if it did, it won't really give you much of an advantage because it's sleep. So this is still kind of the same ability. It's the same thing again. If you cast this, you're pretty much just skipping a turn. You're just gonna take some punishment just for casting this ability. Defense has been decreased, but when you have a team full of Void Shield heroes and heroes with undead and all that kind of stuff, does defense really matter? I mean, during the first few stages of this game's release, that would have been okay, but I don't know about right now. Okay, what does her awakening skill do? Protects all allies from debuffs 3 times. Increases all allies' awakening gauge other than the caster's awakening gauge when using the skill. Removes debuffs from all allies. So, there's a chance this does nothing, but I'm pretty sure the AI will use this pretty quickly. Since it's a support ability, it should prioritize it. So yeah, that should be pretty good. But if you ask me, I feel like this should probably, instead of just increasing everybody's awakening gauge, maybe reset 2 awakening skills, except the casters. Maybe that might be a little bit of a better idea. Devs, maybe that's something to think about, because I think she might need something like that. I feel like that would be a really good addition to her character. But alright.
It's no good.
Cool.
It's pointless.
Absolutely beautiful.
There's nowhere to escape. Good. Now I understand. I'll change the order of this place.
Yeah.
You'll rise again. As long as I'm here.
Man, she's still as cool as I remember. If you haven't already noticed, I really like her character a lot. I do. I really, really do. Alright, what her special item does is the Power of Salvation decreases required awakening gauge, meaning her awakening skill can happen a lot faster. At level 48, minus 20% skill cooldown. That's actually pretty strong. At level 50, the caster will be concealed for 4 turns. This applies to the Power of Salvation. Now, that's actually pretty decent right there. She's concealed for 4 turns, meaning she'll be able to support you for 4 turns and still be able to dish out some damage. That's pretty decent. That's not bad at all. This item definitely makes her a little bit stronger, but is she game breaking? Absolutely not. I can't see her seeing as much play as she initially saw on the Korean version, because there were some teams that actually worked pretty well with her. There were actually some pros that were using her on the Korean version. Even though she didn't really have much synergy, people did end up finding a decent way to use her. She was okay, but she wasn't anything game-breaking. As soon as the next hero came out that could take her place as an even better damage dealer, she just didn't really see much play after that. She had her time for like half a meta. Like, people made a decent team with her, but after that, it was kind of just it. And I was hoping that item would do something a little bit different to make me completely change my mind, but no. She's still not going to see much play, unfortunately. Man. You know what, maybe somebody might come up with a really interesting team with her, but right now, it's still the same old Sylvester and Lubu and all that kind of stuff in the meta right now. Not everybody's really doing much anything different. It's kind of just the same thing. I don't think she's going to change much either. But alright, that is all the time I have left for this video, my fellow gamers. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do take it easy for me, and please have a blessed day. Bye.